What I teach is self-discovery. It's doing some inner work, finding out who you really are and discovering what about you makes you tick, why you make the decisions that you make, and how you can improve upon the decisions that you make and improve upon your life by really understanding your true essence.
For a lot of people, they might go, happiness coach? What's she talking about, happiness coach? But, if you need a doctor, if you feel sick, you go to a doctor. If your house is falling down, you hire a carpenter. If your bulbs aren't working, you hire an electrician. What is more important than yourself and bringing out, because there's a lot of, I meet them, Andy, I know you meet them a lot more than I do. A lot of people say, I have the blues, or I just can't get happy, or everything bothers them, or they're, you meet people that are real short with their temper. You say something that's, just a little comment and they bite your head off. I say, whoa, relax, what's going on there?
Right, and that's always a reflection of something inside themselves that they don't like. When someone is judgmental about someone else, what they are viewing is something inside themselves that they're not comfortable with. We project onto others. Mm-hmm. And these are people that we're having relationships with. A lot of times in new relationships, we have a magnificent honeymoon period where everything is beautiful and this and that. And then what happens along the way is if you're not loving yourself, if you're not accepting yourself, if you're not really embracing who you are, whatever it is that you're not comfortable with in yourself, you'll start finding those things in these people that you're having relationships with.
I'm sorry. Say that again, because I think that's an important point, and it'll buy a little fast. Go ahead.
Okay. Whatever you are not comfortable with within yourself, whatever you don't like about yourself,
all right,
you will project onto other people. So, for instance, we do this with our children. If there's things that we don't like about ourselves, we project those things onto our children. Instead of actually doing the self-discovery work on ourselves and realizing that we're perfect the way we are, mm-hmm, we project these things onto our children. It's like a lot of times it might be a control issue. If we want to control our children, it's because there's something within ourselves that we feel out of control about, or we feel as though this, listen, our ego tells us that if we control things, that's bringing us peace and happiness. Mm-hmm. But it's really not. It's this fight against ourselves. So we actually talk a lot about the ego and our real self. So I call it our true self, who we really are, versus our conditioned self. And our conditioned self is our learned experiences growing up. We come out of the womb, we are pure love, and all we need is love. And then along the way, what ends up happening
Did you want to talk,
is
Andy? Okay, hold on.
All these conditions and judgments that we learn become a part of who we are. Mm-hmm. So for instance, if we're told when we're growing up, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you'll be better when, mm-hmm, then that's who we become. And that's our ego. So these are things that we try to unlearn, that I try to help people unlearn. It's a reconditioning, mm-hmm, because all those judgments are just getting in the way of our happiness.
So much of it, Andy, is common sense, but sometimes we lack the common sense, or maybe we just need somebody to help us along like you do. I didn't mean to distract you there, but we have a few phone calls coming in. You're free to take a call?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's go to our phone line and say, good morning, you're on the air with Andy Evans. Good morning.